As you can see here, Ibu Sandra is the Human Capital Managing Director in Sinar land. And then she has more than 27 years experience as the HR consultant and 15 years as HR practitioners. Ibu Sandra is also our alumni in Executive Program in 2017 ya Ibu ya?
18.
15. Okay. Thank you very much, Ibu. So this one is a very good opportunity for you guys to hear about the latest trend in HR. And then if you have any question, just simply ask Ibu Sandra and you will have a really good insight from the practitioner's side. Okay, Ibu Sandra, the time is yours.
Thank you, Ibu Sekar, Ibu Anita, Pak Jimmy, and everyone who is very patient. And I think today's subject is very much an example, yeah, that I am the latest trend in HR to give learning session through mobile, literally from my car. So tonight will be a good example of what is the latest trend. I'm not going to do Menti today because the situation is not ideal, but probably from the chat, you can write down what do you think of the current HR trends that you already probably heard from your friends or even you experience yourself. Just write down in the chat and then I give you around 30 seconds. What kind of HR trends that you are currently hearing or experiencing yourself? Okay. I'm starting to look at my chat. Hopefully people are all right. Artificial intelligence, thank you, Pa Felix. Or is it someone from outside Indonesia? Right. Quiet quitting. Pak Jimmy, Professor Jimmy. HRIS, thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Yeah. I need to see my chat here from the phone. It's not convenient for my eyes. But I think we can go forward, yeah, to the next click. Remote work, right? Hybrid, yes, that is true. So, okay, next click, please, from Ibu Sekar or somebody who's helping. Yeah. So these are a lot of things that we've been hearing: hybrid work, upskilling, internal mobility, and everything else. But let's hear next what the experts say about this. There are many references, but I'm using Forbes next. I think Forbes give more business perspective. So it's not going to be only HR perspective, but I think there is perspective from the business. There are 10. Click just next. Yeah, you can see here there are 10 trends that Forbes mentioned here. And the first one is about well-being. And then you can see also when it relates to well-being, then it creates a great resignation. I will explain to you later the details. And then number 3, hybrid work. That is a very big theme for the last 3 years. And then number 4, where employee now looking where they can work with the values that match with theirs. Number 5, a skill-based hiring is on the rise. 6, being living long because of increasing in health, it actually creates multiple careers. I will explain later. Number 7, upskilling HR is critical to lead workforce transformation. Number 8, power skills. What is it about? We'll see. Number 9, the working parents, they are expecting new value proposition. And number 10, the CHR role has never been this important, right? Next. Yeah. Number one, if you see here, nowadays, employees are looking at well-being. You know, we thank COVID because during the pandemic era, we are starting to put the priority in our well-being. But it's not only in health, but also financial, mental health, social, physical, and career. You can see the details, but let's go on to the next one where we talk about why this employee well-being create the great resignation. You know, when we are at home and doing our work, we are in the safe place where we think that, okay, now we are looking at our well-being for survival, and then we're thinking about where can we get better benefits and where can we work with the company that can provide all these benefits. That's when it starts, that people start to think about that working is no longer uh, prerequisites or requirements to be in a certain location, but they are looking at their personal aspirations, safety, and also other things that they didn't think about before. So now they, because they find a way that there are better situation in working, they don't hesitate anymore to resign. So I think people are now being more brave. They are more courageous in making decision to resign and do what they love, probably their passion, yeah, their hobbies even, or create their own business. And that will create some challenge for the company because the employees now are preferring to resign, do their own business, or they move to another company because of this. Next, we can skip this and move to the next point. Point 3, hybrid work. This is a very big theme because majority are now reimagining how to operate post-pandemic business and communicate this to the workers. How can we do this? In my case, in Sinar Masland, we are more like our government, local government, yeah, where we take care not only the housing and commercial area, but we also take care of the waste management, traffic management. We also take care of water and other community services. That's where we are not able to be hybrid because our people are on the operation every day. They will go around the Sinar Masland area, either in BSD or other projects. But in your case, probably you can also think about how this will affect you and your company in operating the daily work itself. Next. Yeah. So now the term is more of a productivity anywhere. Yeah, rather than work from workplace. Next. Point 4, oh sorry, this is about the hybrid work. So these are by countries. You can see our lovely country, yeah, beloved country, Indonesia. Our population is 21 workforce in terms of number. But the one that can do remote work is only about 60%. Let's see the comparison to Singapore. Singapore only have about 1.2 million potential workforce. However, the remote working arrangement get up to 44%, almost 50%. So this is different by country in Asia. And I think Indonesia is a bit lacking behind But you see, Singapore, Malaysia, and Philippines are better. Next, by sector, by sector. The top two industry on the left, they are in what is it? Professional services and technology and communications that are ready for hybrid work. But the hybrid work is not for everyone. So when we talk about hybrid work, there are, like my example, we are the township management in a way. We cannot really do hybrid work. How can you manage water or waste or traffic if you are not on site? So I think we can relate to our own business and sectors or even occupations. What are more relevant to hybrid work? Well, my point is that it's not for every job, it's not for every sector. So it must, fit to your business itself, business model. Next. So remote working is not the same as working from home, meaning we are working away from the usual office, our common office, but we are probably now starting to feel, being at home is not as simple as that. I have a pet, it's a husky, and every time I work, this husky will be, asking for attention, and sometimes meeting and another meeting is just adjacent. Yeah, there is no break, and we don't know when it starts and when it ends, and then it becomes something like um, as a frustration situation. And not to mention about cybersecurity now, everything is, we think it's safe where we work from cafe, but it's not. When we enter a cafe and then we put our email address, our name and other identity, that is actually the gate for a cyber security attack. So now we are next. We are now talking about work near home. That is the new normal, and we probably need to. If you look at the picture on the left, you see the circles. The inner circle is work from home, and then you have work near home, and then you have the outer circle, work or work from everywhere or anywhere. So now our circle is not at home anymore. We are making a bigger circle, work near home. And we cannot just only think about work and life integration, but we need to start thinking about work and life happiness, right? So next, this is where I work, and we integrate work and life happiness in BSD City. There is office area, and then there is shopping area, and then housing. Next. So this area is actually a place for where we can work near home, and we can still be productive. If we need to, we go to the office, or we can go back home if we don't feel like, when we hear that our colleagues catching COVID, so we can stay home. And this is just an idea of a smart city where I think the new capital city of Indonesia is looking at. All right, next. We're looking at this trend, the fourth trend, where employees see a company that can match their values. So usually there are expectation gaps between the workers or employees and the business leaders or the company. The blue ones, the lighter blue, that's say pay equity. Of course, we are looking for a better pay every time. And the company also probably thinking less than what they think we should get. And there is other values. this has become increasingly important than the previous years because with this pandemic, employees are prioritizing what are their expectations, what are their values, and that's where the gap are becoming even higher. Right. Next, for yeah, I am of course as like you studied in BINUS, but apparently the new trend is saying that the skill-based hiring is on the rise, where degrees have shown to be a bad proxy for possessing in-demand skills. So now companies are looking at, more skills rather than credentials. So this is something that is moving. Let's see whether this trend is going to be even bigger, where people are looking, towards skills rather than the credentials or education and degrees. And all right, so that would be interesting. Next point, number 6, longevity leads to multiple careers. Now people are getting, in my case in the office, our medical limit is actually now on actual spending is less compared to the uh, pre-COVID. So that is actually weird because people, when they stay home and then they take care of their health, they take supplements, vitamins. I mean, their health is increasingly better, and that makes some people can move jobs. In the case here, from warehouse worker to IT professional is now a possibility. I will explain when I will explain this further when I talk about upskilling and reskilling. Right. Next. Yeah. Now, what is actually the needs in terms of the trends in HR? It is actually the HR itself needs to be upskilled. So the HR is now critical to lead workforce transformation. That's why if you are CEO or business owners, you start to think about how to make sure that your HR people are getting enough development to think about the future skills. How can they help the employees to increase their skills? How can they do a work arrangement that suits the situation? And how can they offer benefits and other values to close the expectation gap? So HR is being challenged, and this is actually also an opportunity to show that HR can be leading. So they are the one that needs to be upgraded in the first place, right? Next point, McKinsey said that in response to COVID-19, companies have speeded the adoption of digital technologies by several years. So there are good things coming with COVID, where technologies are ahead in several times, leaping from the previous situation. And then this actually accelerated many changes. And next, based on the survey, 5 out of 100 companies do attempts to switch to different sectors and move into that sectors. If you see, there are more healthy manufacturers, labs, medical labs, and also medicine manufacturers now, and also online services, professional services that arise during the COVID time. And people who are closing their businesses, they are start to move to other sectors that are have a better chance during the pandemic time. This means anyone who had the skills of the previous sector probably no longer relevant in the new sectors. Pharmacy, science, engineer, technology, IT, everything else now become the new currency. Next. Yeah. So for the first time in recent years, job creation is starting to lag behind job destruction. And this, what does it mean? Next. To the business. Next. This means there should be faster adoption of technology and different sets of skills. We need to look at ourselves. Are we adopting the technology as fast as the change itself? And are we gaining or developing a set of new skills due to these rapid changes? Next. So then the question is, what are the future skills? Where are we right now? Next. Based on the LinkedIn 2020 prior COVID, you can see on the left side, creativity, persuasion, collaboration, adaptability, EI, these were the top skills. But during the World Economic Forum, they're saying that the top skills in the future for 2025 are different. If you see, I make a red boxes in the on the right side: analytical thinking, complex problem solving, and etc. Next. Also talking about technology. So technology fluency are very important in the future skills. So in my POV, there are three categories, the big categories for the future skills. These are complex problem solving, digital orientation, and agility itself. So if you are an HR person, you should start thinking, how can I develop my employees with these three skills? I mean, you can, of course, differentiate them into a more detailed skill, but there are these three skills that will survive the company and make the company thrive. If you are the business owners or you are the CEOs, then you also need to see whether your talents are showing these skills, because otherwise your company are not in good hands. But you need to look at that. So still talking about these skills. Next, I am now going to challenge what is actually upskilling and reskilling, because these two terms come up quite recently, and we need to know the difference. I just wanna have some interaction with you again. Do you know what upskilling is? You can write in the chat box and write what you think about upskilling. Not yet reskilling, just upskilling first. So write in the chat box what do you think is the definition or the meaning of upskilling.
Okay, learning new skill in order to improve yourself. Thank you, Olivia.
Two more, probably. Two more.
Providing people with advanced skill through education and training.
Good. Wow. Company give facility.
Okay, upskilling is one of the trend of people development, where the method is to use the capacity, skills to fulfill the needs of the job in the future.
Yeah. Pretty much. Okay, there are more.
Upskilling is one way to upgrade the skill to reach the career path to the top management.
Okay, I think we have enough samples. Now we can go next slide. These are the answers. So upskilling is actually a process of learning new skills or of teaching workers new skill. The the keywords are it means without changing their position or career path. So meaning, for example, somebody who is a receptionist, sorry, this the example here I'm gonna use is somebody who actually doing Excel for their administration. Now are trained for the robotic process. Yeah. So these organization are uh, going to implement something artificial intelligence or even a robotic process, and then the employees are trained to use this more sophisticated technology. But on the right side is reskilling. Reskilling is actually training people to do a different job. So the keywords here are learning a completely new occupation. For example, an office clerk might be obsolete in the future. So this person is going to learn something about web developer or coding or something with technology. And this definitely will bring this office clerk to a different job position. So these two, we need to understand that upskilling is upgrading our skills, but reskilling is totally changing our current skills to do a different job, to do a different occupation. Yeah. So, and these are the new requirements in the new age, the new trends. We need to do this either upskilling or even both upskilling and reskilling. Next. Yeah. Next. That's yeah. Power skills include human skills and digital. So you remember that I mentioned about the World Economic Forum, but according to Forbes, these are the power skills for 2022. And this includes number one, actually resilience. That's something that's gonna be a great skill, yeah, to survive the new requirements or the new expectation, challenges, technology skills. These are all will be required as the power skill for 2022. Next, working parents. Now, working parents are more likely to leave their jobs because in the past 2 years, they are feeling the exhaustion and they are juggling for childcare. And now they are back to work. They are required to find a good childcare, but they are re-evaluating their situation. And probably now they're thinking about having their home business or changing the jobs where it can accommodate the working parents' needs. So these are something that is going to be a trend. Probably it starts in the outer part of Indonesia, but it will come to Indonesia soon. Next, I think looking at the time, Ibu Sekar, how much time do I still have?
10 minutes, Ibu.
Okay, so we skip this one. You can look at this later. Then the CHRO role or the head of HR person in the company has never been more important. So CHRO role is very crucial in the success of the business. And now this position actually going to make sure that the talent are staying or attracting the new talent or, making a better value proposition for the employees or even potential employees. So the CHRO has now been more pivotal than previous years. Next. This is a good video. I think Ibu Sekar can help to play this. This is a very short one from BCG. I hope you can click the title future of work. Just click there. I hope it links to the. Can we see the video? Anyone can see the video?
Yes, Ibu, the video is playing.
Oh, okay. All right. Good.
Okay, so it's about the future of work in Asia. Okay, Ibu, can you see the screen again now?
And students at Crimson are 4 times more likely to get into the school.
Okay. So is the video done?
Yes. Okay, so can you see the screen again, Ibu?
Oh, good. All right, let's go. It's still black to me, but I can hear your voice. Okay, it's back. Oh, it's my face. Are we back to the slides?
Can you see the slides, Ibu?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So from the video, we've watched the challenges in Asia especially. And I think the next question will be something to think about in the next slide. Please click. What does it mean for the business? Next. Yeah. That means a lot of things. But I like to make not yet. Go back to the previous one. What does it mean to the business? So for the business, I think I like to make a very easy words to remember: reinforce, reimagine, and revamp. So the business need to think about reinforcing the current business. Is it something going to be sustainable? Are we going to thrive with this kind of business model? And then reimagine what will be the future of business like. Do we need to improve the technology, invest in a good talent? We change the talent specs, and how do we revamp our human capital? Actually, I'm using human capital for my division, for my business unit, instead of human resources, because I think the concept of human capital is where we develop and invest in the capital of human instead of using maximize our resources of human. So these three words, reinforce, reimagine, and revamp, is something that we need to start thinking in order to, bounce back. Yeah, Pak Jokowi said, bangkit lebih pulih lebih cepat dan bangkit lebih kuat gitu ya. I think in Indonesia it's a lot easier to use these terms where we need to start looking at reviewing our business model, whether that still works, what kind of talents we are going to attract and retain, what kind of benefits, values, proposition that we are going to give to make sure that the business thrive. And also then we need to, next is actually to look into ourselves. What does it mean to me? I like to use three words: renew, reinvest, and reposition. We need to renew our skills. I think it's a very good thing that everyone is here tonight. Yeah, despite of the flood and the rain, you are upgrading yourself. You are investing in yourself. And then you also need to think about repositioning your personal branding. Are you the talent that going to be relevant in the new situation, in the new challenges post-COVID? Because if your skills are not relevant, if you are not recognized by any employer or headhunters or other opportunities that your skills are relevant, you are going to be left out, and there will be other people who is going to take care of your position. So you need to look again, what are your branding in terms of talent market? What is your branding in terms of skills? Do people know you by your, say, IT skills, developer skills, or communication skills, PR, or other things? What is your actually the personal branding that will make you recognized in the talent market? So again, I think this will be the end of my sharing tonight. Next is actually I'm wishing everyone to stay relevant and also stay well. Thank you very much. I'm giving back to Ibu Sekar for questions and discussion. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Sandra, for your fruitful presentation. I believe everyone is getting a very new insights for their future career.
Yeah.
Okay, so for now, I'm going to open the question and answer session. I'm going to give the floor for the online first. Is it okay? Yeah. Okay, for the one in the Zoom, you can open your camera and you can ask the question directly to Ibu Sandra. Can we have someone from online? Maybe from Pak Jimmy's class.
Pak Jimmy jangan nanya loh Pak, nanti saya kayak final defense.
No. Come on, guys. Do you have any questions to Ibu Sandra? Harold, Areen, Jetsu, Miko, come on.
Aman Pak,
Alex.
aman.
What happened to you? You get stuck in traffic, Bu?
Iya Pak, aduh, I was already somewhere around apa itu tadi ya, Pondok Aren ya, and then the police were there and they were rerouting us. So then I went to Bintaro, and then we got stuck everywhere. Aduh, and it was a small alley ya.
Oh, there's a question through chat. Go ahead.
Okay, Ibu, there is a question from Florin. Hello, Bu Sandra. Sorry for being unable to open mic and camera. My name is Irene. Thank you for sharing. Irene is from French, right? If I'm not mistaken. Is it?
No, Indonesian student.
Yeah, she's the student exchange. The question is, as employers, how do you identify more abstract skills such as critical thinking and resilience? And as applicants, how do you show it in your resume? Thank you, Ibu.
Right. That's a very good question. Abstract skills like critical thinking, resilience are something that we somehow use in psychotest, I have to say. There we can see how they are driving initiative, leading change, and especially during the interview, we can always ask about a certain case study, and we see whether what was the decision or the thinking process to find out about the critical thinking, resilience, etc. However, during the resume, you can point out, which is usually in probably in a sentence where you say, I am a resilient person. I have critical thinking. I have good analysis on something, and probably in a very short, sentences. And that's where I think the hiring person or the recruiter will see that there are these qualities in this person or in this candidate. I think I hope that helps the help answering your question. Thank you, Florine. Very good question.
Okay,
Florine or
thank you,
Florine?
Ibu. Any other questions from the Zoom? Okay, while waiting, sorry, somebody is raised his hand. Okay, Harold. Harold, can you open your camera?
Yeah. Hi, Bu Sandra. Thank you for the presentation and sharing. It's very nice to me. I have some question regarding you. You have a lot of experience. Do you have any thoughts of office politics? About maybe you can share to us. Thank you.
Yeah, this is
How to handle it, or and Simon.
How to handle office politics, Ibu?
Office politics is best to be handled by meeting the person, then probably also explaining your perspective. Yeah, don't get into it. My advice is not to be dragged into a more dramatic office politics. Yeah, you need to be having your own opinion, be neutral as much as possible, and also as as frequent as possible, neutralize the situation, always thinking from both perspective. Either you are in the person who's being politicized, you need to be also having empathy why these people are doing this. Probably you can see maybe insecurities, or maybe this person is ambitious and looking after something. There is a personal agenda. So when you understand the other side of this politic, actually you can actually strategize, without being dragged into the politic itself, but you can remain to see everything in a bigger perspective and a more neutral situation. Yeah, so do not get into it, but you need to remain neutral. That's my advice. Yeah.
Okay, Bu. Thank you very
Harold.
much.
Yes, thank you, Harold.
Okay, thank you. Ibu, now we go back to the room in JWC, ya Ibu. We have several questions here. Alvin, you want to start?
Good evening, Miss Sandra. Thank you for your presentation. I think it's very insightful. I want to ask about your insight regarding employee sharing model, if you have any talks about it, because I have read that this model has been implemented since like 2014 or something, like from
employee sharing model. Which one?
Do you have any thoughts about it? And do you think with the implementation of the remote working after the COVID-19 pandemic, do you think it can be further be implemented in Indonesia? Do you think it will be beneficial or not if we want to, if any company in Indonesia wants to apply it? Because for the companies, they can reduce their they can reduce their costs regarding human resource management, right? But on the flip side, the workers can be more stressful, and even it will impact their engagement, reliability, and even can relate to their retention. So in this context, in our culture, in our Indonesian culture, even with the new normal, do you think it can be further implemented, or it will be better we just stick into the remote and working from anywhere model rather than employee sharing model?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I didn't catch up the name, but I'm going to answer this question. When the trend is going like a strong wind, you cannot get away from that. You will be in the stream where everyone is going and looking, asking for a hybrid or remote working. And this happens to my company as well when we start recruiting actually during the pandemic time. 2020, we have two business units. And on the 2021, we launched 8 business units. So we have 10 business units, new business units, or 10 new CEOs during the pandemic era. And some of the candidates already, whether we are implementing hybrid or remote working or flexible working. And that is actually the new value proposition that the candidates are looking at, whether I do remote or not. But these are the facts. This is where the trends is going. So what we need to do when we all look at our companies ourselves, whether this will be something that we can work around, something workable, and either in terms of getting the right candidate, then implementing the hybrid or remote working, or we stay working from office where people are still required. For example, in my company, I think half of us are required to be on the field because we are, the office management, we are mall management, we are township management. These people needs to be there, looking at the security, parking, waste management, water management, etc. However, you are right. We are also having the benefits of not having to rent a big office space. That's where it saves costs. And something that I am saying in the previous slide, that you need to reimagine your business, right? You need to think about whether my business model works with remote working, whether my cost structure will suit with the new candidate expectations. So these are where the art of management. This is your class where you are now studying to balance it. What is the new business model that works in the future? Yeah, I mean now, because future is already here, and this is where the art of management gonna place a factor of success or not success. This is where every leaders and also need to involve the CHRO, discuss a very crucial turning point, yeah. Intersection. Are we going to be doing remote working? How many people can be doing remote working? How many people will stay in the office? Are we providing something else, or are we cost cutting? And these are the discussion points that you need to figure out, yeah, as a part of the management or part of the concerned employees. Where are we and where we are going to? So I hope that helps to answer you. Thank you so much. That's a very good question.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Sandra and Alvin. Okay, students, actually you can ask in Bahasa Indonesia, yeah, because Ibu Sandra actually this class is very heboh biasanya. Tapi malam ini nih nggak tahu nih apa nih, shy cut nih.
Jadi,
Olive, you have question? Yes, go ahead, Olive. Yeah. Hello. Okay.
Suaranya kurang jelas ya, Olive.
Okay. I'm shy. I'm shy. Okay. Good evening, Miss Sandra. Thank you so much for the sharing today. It's very insightful, just like what other people have said. So I have a few, like 2 questions for you. The first being, so I was seeing the slide where it talks about working parents expect a new employer value proposition. And I think it's very interesting because through anecdotal evidence, I have seen that employers out there may reject candidates when they're of the age of marriage, or even when they are about to have a kid, right? And the reason being exactly due to the due to what is written in the value proposition in the slide, which is pushing the limits of workplace, the ability to cut back to 60% work weeks. And while I'm unsure of their rationale, I can surmise perhaps that it must have been because of efficiency issues in the company. But so what I'm about to ask is that if it's important to be efficient and hiring parents at the same time, why do employers need to offer a new working parents? And then another question perhaps is if us as leaders did offer this value proposition to working parents, and then these people who are working with us as parents as well accept it, right? In here it is said that they can cut back 60% work weeks and then downshift to less demanding role. And if they accept it, how do we ensure that they would stick with it if it makes sense?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. That's my question.
Thank you so much. This is very relevant question. Yeah. Nowadays, actually, there is an Indonesian regulation, but I'm not sure where your country is from. But in Indonesia, we are not allowed to reject a candidate when this is the candidate is in pregnancy or expecting, probably rejecting someone who's going to be married. Yeah. It should be about suitability, competency, and matching to the job specifications. So when a company is doing the opposite, where they reject candidates who are going to be married, or this person is expecting, or even coming back from delivering a child, there is something that should not be continued. Yeah, some changes need to be done. The HR needs to be looking at this. The employees can also raise concern. Can we look at a better way to these working parents to come back to work and provide the right supports? In my company, before the COVID, even we provide a room for mother for breastfeeding, and during the big Lebaran holiday, which is our biggest in Indonesia, where our home or domestic assistants leaving to their hometown, we open childcare. So we provide a professional childcare people to help our working mothers to work in the office while the kids are there in the facility. But this is only for the Lebaran holiday, which is something that we can continue when the business model of helping or supporting the working parents to be working in the company, something that between the business leaders to look at the costs and then look at the how many female employees or even male employees that are taking care of the kids. If the portion of female employees, I know insurance company have a lot of female workers, and that's where the female value proposition needs to be looked at. And not every company is the same, but when your portion of female workers or working parents that needs child support are bigger than the non-working parents, then company needs to look at this arrangement again. That's my perspective. Yeah, I hope the company you're working for, or when you are having your own business, then you can start looking at this. Thank you so much for the question.
Thank you so very much. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Sandra. There are 2 more questions in the chat box and then maybe 1 more from the classroom later on.
Yeah.
And then the first one from the chat box, Ibu, this is from Andri. Hello, Bu Sandra. Sorry, I cannot open my mic and camera. I just want to ask about a lot of job seeker who always make their psychological test looks good just to get a job. The question, is it good for faking this answer just for that? What do you think?
Yeah, I hope the ones that faking the answers are not people from psychology who know the tools and know the how to measure and look at the factors, or traits. But usually we will catch it during the interview because when people do something that's not really true, usually it's not consistent. So I use STAR models to do behavioral interview. So that actually will pin down, okay, this is what you claim to be successful at. What did you do about it? What was the challenge? And were you the project leader? What was your role? And so on and so forth. That's gonna pin down and cross-check, cross-reference to the psychological test. Yeah. So that's why interview session should not be taken lightly and not be only to look at technical skills, but to check everything. Consistency in the psycho test, consistency in the resume, meeting in person or through the online platform will be a good, confirmation, yeah, whether this person has faked the test. And that's something, the skill of interviewers that needs to be improved. Yeah, so do not only talk about technical skills or something that's a bit fake or a bit general. You need to dig there. What is actually the situation, and then what is actually this person did in that situation. Does this person really know about the details? Yeah, something like that. You don't need to ask so many questions, but probably 2 questions that is digging pretty deep. That's where you can find and make a cross reference between the test and the real person. Yeah. So hopefully nobody doing joki ya, ngisi tes ya. Aduh.
Okay, thank you. Andre, is it answering your question? Oh, Andre cannot open the mic. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we're going to okay. So we're going to go to the next question from David. David is asking, Ibu, can specific job demands such as poor working relationship Oh,
job.
Andri mau tanya langsung Ibu katanya.
Oh, oke.
Oh, David. Oke,
Oh,
oke.
David. Ya. Ini mulai rame
Nggak
nih,
apa-apa
Bu.
ya,
Mulai
Bu. Ini
panas.
heboh ini kelasnya.
Iya. Saya tetap menuju BINUS loh ini. Saya berharap masih bisa ketemu ya. Mudah-mudahan masih bisa ketemu.
Mana nggak usah. Aduh, kenapa?
Hah?
Perkenalan.
Sorry, suaranya kurang jelas loh.
Nama dulu dong. Asal dari mana? Ini ibunya udah nunggu. Ayo.
Pertanyaannya jadi apa ya?
Halo,
Saya kurang.
good evening Bu. Can you hear my voice?
Yes, I can.
Oh yeah, hello Bu Sandra. I have
Yeah, hello.
Can specific job demands such as poor working relationships or emotionally draining tasks be handled by AI, or does it still need the human touch? Thank you.
Yeah.
Visioner.
I am a believer of combining, tests, technology and also human touch. Yeah. So these two are still the process for recruiting people or talent. So when we are using tests, sometimes we are not having the whole 360 perspective of this person. And when you meet the person, then you know whether they are making eye contact or they are, nervous, having, low confidence or self-esteem. Probably they have something that's, we didn't quite catch during the test, yeah, or technology tools. Yeah. So I'm a believer that I need to do both. One is the test, and then the other one is to do the interview. So these two things is the current process that I established in my company. And I think that's something that we still need to especially high level, unless it is lower level, homogeneous, for example, sales people. We go through, we have to go through a lot of candidates, maybe 100 or 200s, and we do tests first. Then we train them inside, and then we start looking at this person. Oh, apparently they have poor communication skills, so you're not good for salesperson. And then within this short-term period, when we find out, we will release the person and then find a new sales people. Yeah, that's probably a different situation, needs different procedure, but at the end, we will definitely have both of them, the test and meeting the person in ourselves. I hope that answer the question.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Sandra, for the answer. Is it okay, David? Is it answering your questions? Is it answering your question? Yes, okay. So, okay. Okay, so this will be the last question, Ibu, from Alicia Elverda from Master Track Alam Sutra. I would like to ask, when is the right time for you to decide to resign from a job or a company? Also, like you said before, this pandemic era makes us pay more attention to our well-being and making us braver to take the action if it's needed. But is it influencing our resume if we jump out too often from HR perspective? Thank you, Bu Sandra. God bless you.
I like this question. Yeah, when do we resign? Yeah. Okay. The funny answer is when you have a good offer, you resign. A better offer, you resign. But on a serious note, you always have to come back to yourself. What you look in the job, in the career, in perspective of your long-term career. Do you really need to stay there to grow yourself, to have a good career track? Yeah. So if this company doesn't provide you with good development, good career opportunity, and then you start asking yourself, am I growing? Am I being invested? Am I getting the best out of me? My potentials and so on. So that checklist will go, you have your own checklist there. Does it check or not check when I stay? So when there are more unchecked boxes or unticked boxes that you find, then I think that's a very strong indicators that you need to find a new opportunity. I think as an HR person, I'm always looking at somebody who's probably staying longer enough, yeah. Not necessarily 5 years, but at least you don't move around every 4 months or 6 months, yeah. Because I need to find somebody who's resilient. I can see resilience through, I can see resilience through a CV, but I also need to meet this person. But the loyalty is no longer to a company. The loyalty now depends on the career or the passion itself. So when I become an HR, I'm being loyal to my profession. As long as I'm being challenged, I'm developed, and I can learn new things. Doesn't matter. I don't have to go to the other companies, but then I need to be able to make sure that all my aspirations to the profession is being answered. If not, then it's time to find another place where you can find all these things checked, the boxes checked. And that's where comes where a better offer play a big role to make the decision easier. Yeah, okay, a better offer, and then I can grow further in another place, and so on and so forth. But always be true, be loyal to your profession, yeah, to your career aspiration, yeah. I'm in Sinar Masland for my 11th year now, and previously in PwC, I worked for 5 years, and in Mercer HR consultant, I worked there for 10 years. So yeah, in total, the shortest years was in Deloitte as mostly recruitment, because I think I need to grow more skills, more horizon, yeah. That's where I left. Deloitte was my first job, and I only stayed there for 2 years. And then in Mercer, I grew a lot of skills, client management skills, project management, client relationship, everything, knowledge itself. So I stayed there for 10 years, and then I moved to PwC 5 years, and now I'm still here for my 11 years. And I think as long as I get all these things that I need from a company, I'm staying. But if there is a better offer, all the check boxes are not done, that's time to leave. That's the answer.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Sandra. I think that's it for the question and answer session. Thank you very much. Let's give some round of applause for Ibu Sandra and for all of us. Thank you very much, Ibu, for your very insightful session for us, despite the condition. But the session is really great, and I believe all of us got a really good insights for not only for the school, but also for the future career.